Hi folks, hope you're well. Went down to the tea and coffee morning thing at the Community Church of God, and this time I spoke to the pastor. He's been away for a while. He had an operation on his eye. Something to do with the retina was causing him problems. So he had an operation on that. Not sure if he went back to America to get it done or whether or not he had it done in the NHS, don't know. But I was speaking to him about a number of things. I was speaking to him about the River Church and about the issues I have with that church, and about the fact that the pastor and assistant pastor of that church will not speak to me, that they saw me in the last soul food thing and looked at me as if I was a devil himself. I said I'd speak to them if they wanted to say hello. I'd say hello. Wouldn't have a problem with that at all. Not a problem. So, and I said about why, and I said about Manuel, who was the pastor before him, and Manuel praying that God would help the hospitals and the GPs to deal with cancer and COVID. And I think he understood how horrified I was with that. And he looked horrified about that. That a pastor of that church, the previous pastor to him, would be praying such things, because it's a rather demonic thing to pray. Well, I said to him about the fact that obviously, the River Church has a pastor and an assistant pastor. I said, do you have an assistant pastor or anything like that? Anyone below you that can take over? Can take meetings and take services and do that to give you a break? He said no. He said, I don't have anyone like that. I said, well, there's going to be someone in your church who can do that. I said, at the moment you just haven't noticed that person. And I was thinking as soon as I said that, don't think I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about me. No. Well, again, if God decides it's me, then, but I'm not talking about me. I wasn't trying to push me into that, because I'm not actually part of his church. So therefore, when I said there's someone in your church, I'm not actually in his church. So therefore, that's why I wasn't trying to point to me. But there is someone in his church who is supposed to be doing that job. And so, yeah. I told him about some of the experiences I've had with God, and standing for that 8 months and what that was all about, and now this 11 weeks that I'm waiting for that to reveal itself on the 29th of December, and tell him all about what happened during that time. And it was interesting. But that's why, to me, I couldn't really be, that's what I've said before, I don't know if I will ever be under a pastor again. Ever. And the reason is because obviously if they need to be taught how to go through Yeshua to Father, if they need to be taught how to walk in that way, then how can I be under them if I have to teach them how to do that? It's just not possible, is it? So therefore, it is very, very much what it is. So when it all comes down to it, as I say, it's, for me, I said to him, I don't think he got it. I said that being banned from church was actually a blessing, because, well, I didn't actually say that being in church is really difficult, because it is. When I was at that church, the Community Church of God with Manuel, I found that an incredibly difficult church to be a part of. It was It wasn't as bad, although it was, of course, because Manuel was everything. So in the River Church, you've got the person in charge of the Tuesday night meeting, the lady. Then you've got the pastor of the church is a different person. Now they've got an assistant pastor. So they've got different people doing different things. Cool. In the Community Church of God, it was just Manuel doing all of it. And, yeah. If there's old videos of the services, oh my God, you should watch one of them. Oh my God, yes. The Elgin Community Church of God is called, and when Manuel was the one in charge, he was useless on the keyboard, but he insisted on playing the keyboard when it's worship time, because nothing could be done unless he was involved in it and he was leading it. But he was terrible. He wasn't very good on it. Plonky, 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 basically. He wasn't good. He wasn't a good musician. That's a certainty. He wasn't a good teacher. He wasn't a good pastor. He wasn't a good anything. So I can't really say the River Church was worse than the Elgin Community Church of God was when Manuel was in charge. Don't know. The reality is that Manuel was a very interesting person. A very bad example of what a leader should be. A very, 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 very bad example of what a leader should be. So it's like, yeah. So, does he compare? Absolutely. I mean, praying that God would help the hospitals and the GPs deal with COVID and cancer is on the level of basically not understanding that when the Queen died, that saying that the church doesn't have a head anymore, basically at the same level. Him saying that he has to do everything is basically like, Jeff Oakes, when people ask him if he will be their spiritual father, him saying yes. Basically the same. No better, no worse, equally as bad. Equally. So yeah. So it isn't the case really that that again, I'm not going to be trying to say the River Church is the worst church in the area or the worst church in the district or the country, because it probably is not. There are probably far worse ones. Probably. And I say the Nigerian church was good in the sense that they were very, very giving. Yeah, they would give food to people that turned up. They were very nice in that way. Very, very lovely in that way, yes. But they insisted on bringing their culture into the church and making their church an African church. In Scotland. Yeah. Which wasn't God deciding that, it was them. So, again, no better, no worse. All about the same really when it comes down to it. All deciding to lead. Oh yeah, when I was talking to the pastor of the community church, we were speaking about healing to start with. We were talking about the fact, because of course he spoke about him going to have his eye operated on. I said about churches not praying for healing anymore. And so we were talking about that as well. And so that was an interesting area of conversation, because my understanding of that has changed magnificently over the years. So, yeah. Very interesting. Whether there's a purpose to it, I don't know. So, there you go. Anyway, there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Be a blessing, be blessed, and have a fantastic week ahead and weekend. I'll speak to you soon. enjoy. Be a blessing. Bye bye.